Hello there, neighbor. Uh, just got done watching your video. I'm gonna watch Swingers here in a minute. Thought I would record my Thursday review and also my end of the week review, as Friday is Good Friday, which makes it a holiday. And there will be no trading done on the market day. So, you know, it gave me a lot to think about. And to think that, that close to being a CPT is like something that's like eluded me for, for 4 years, right? So it's like all I've wanted for the past 4 years is just to have that skill set in order to trade profitably consistently. So, yeah, and I guess it kind of like just what you said, and I read Steve Burns like shared this like some guy gave away the turtles, like the turtles philosophy or the turtles rule set for trading. And it's not that they were overly complicated, buying 20-day breakouts or 55-day breakouts, and it was just like how they absolutely had to stick to the parameters of their trading plan, when to enter, when to exit, based on the ATR or whatever. But it was just, if you tweak that, if you mess with it just one bit, it threw off everything else you were trying to do. And the people who couldn't follow the turtle rules with discipline every time were not the successful traders. So that kind of hit home, and what you said today kind of hit home too. Is like, I got to just follow trend trades. Open on the low, close on the high, wide range bars. What we're looking for in trend trades. And that's my bread and butter. That's the one that I've come back to when everything it's a cloudy day outside. Um, so and we've laid out rules for myself. I just emailed you those. The it's going up, going down without me entry. Avoid that. Avoid gap up, go up. Avoid gap down, go down. So just large gaps in general. Just not going to trade those, regardless of the result of that day. We talked about opening spikes. Too far, too fast, especially on the open. That's more true than anything. No meat on the bone. So a price has gotten to the that has already done its previous wide range bars, ATRs, ATR already. Um, and then the last one is not buying underneath resistance or UFO level, or shorting above prior support level. Right. So those are kind of my big things. And then last one, not trading within a large daily range. So those are really the things to avoid, um, for me, at least anyway, for my trading. And I think you're absolutely right. It's my willingness is to, and it's so funny that you brought that up because, yeah, I made a lot of money trading AOI, and I realize I'll get back onto something to say, but anyway, just, you say that, and trading AOI, and it's number one on in the pre-market movers, and up 22% in pre-market, and so obviously that's a large gap. Um, and part of me, I knew, I was like, I'm breaking my fucking rules to take this trade. And I said to myself, I'm like, but it's different this time. And it's like, well, it's not. Like, the rules exist to keep me out of trouble. And, just like you said, man, like, sometimes you do the wrong thing, you get rewarded for it. And, I definitely think this is one of those times in AOI. I concocted some, fancy reason for why it was a good trade. I was like, oh, it's like, showing recent weakness. It's like a gap up, like to the midline, like mean reversion short. Like, but realistically, it's just in the middle of a big fucking range, isn't it? Like, it's not really trending one way or the other. It happened to be on the right side of the market. It happened to have a wide range day, but I don't think that is conducive to long-term trading, longevity, sustainability, as it were. You know. So anyway, breaking down the SPY. So SPY has been in a long-term uptrend, which is the S&P ETF. Uptrend still intact with higher highs, higher lows long-term. Intermediately, we gapped up to all-time highs on the 1st of March. Oh shit, 1st of the month. And then since then have been in an intermediate sideways action. Traded through the midline to the other side of Keltner and since been going sideways. So the uptrend, potentially could be breaking down here, especially this would be a lower high or a lower low, lower high. We break down from the 27th of March's low. It definitely began, the second part. We definitely call it an intermediate downtrend officially going by lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So, SPY uptrend still intact, but intermediately in jeopardy. Moving on to the top pre-market movers. SPEW, large cap down, no trade, right? Fucking that fast. 45% gap, no trade. So AOI should have been the same process. Gap up 20%, should have been the no trade, but I traded it. So, that's not me following the rules. It's not me, It's like, oh sweet, it was an opening drive and a pullback, and I fucking shorted into the pop, and I added on support became resistance. I added there, and maybe I exit a little early, but this is not a layup trade. This is trading in the middle of a fucking range, middle of a big sideways range, or like there's no trend up or down really. I mean, the long-term trend is still up, I suppose, or now it's to be invalidated since this lower. Excuse me. So I'm really getting away from everything because I'm getting flustered about this. So AOI's tech, right? Long-term uptrend. Until we, at the all-time highs, had a clean swing back through Keltner, broke this prior higher low, so it kind of invalidates the uptrends where the uptrend would have been invalidated. So, that was my idea going this. But just to be disciplined, to follow the plan is to not take this fucking trade. So, it's not even, I made a lot of money, but it's not, doesn't matter because I didn't follow the plan, and we talked about missing a bunch of good stuff. So, oh shit, in my week's review now, what did I follow, what plan did I follow? Talk about Momo on, here are all these fucking lines. So, Momo on Monday, on this day I traded, it's like, oh my god, how did he trade a fucking, uptrending stock? So, Momo's tech. Long-term uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, upward sloping, 50 period, 200 period moving averages. How did I, at 52-week highs, how did I buy, some kind of flag at all-time highs, and it worked. Holy shit, you don't say. ESPR, uptrending stock. So I was using this demonstrating, trying to help my friend out who's yeah, anyway, he's starting to see the light. At least he's not buying dips and severely downtrending stocks, but I'm not any better apparently because I trade UVixy. So ESPR's biotech coming off long-term base in a recent uptrend, as defined by higher highs, higher lows, removing this day. So pulling back to the midline, consolidating at the midline in a real stock, not a penny stock. So, it took the breakout of, these days high, in a sideways stock in an uptrend. So, that's a good trade. ESPR is still on the list, by the way, because it's kind of 4 days overlapping here in this wide range today. So, it's on the list for Monday. But, so that was a good trade on this day. Trading with the trend, kind of after some compression at the midline in an uptrending stock that's a real stock, not a penny stock. What was my other good trade from that day? LL. So LL's long-term uptrend at 52-week highs, upward sloping 50 and 200-day moving averages. Fuck this line. But what was my setup? My setup was compression at the 52-week highs, 3-bar triangle, what have you. And I took the breakout from here. Like, oh my god, I took a breakout. And, this is technically a counter trend trade. But, it's an intraday trend trade. And, I got out. So, like, this is one of the more forgivable counter trend trades, I think, to take. Because this is like a setup for a breakout either way, right? So, am I wrong calling this a counter trend trade? Is counter trend trade more like what we were talking about in Pulse, where the rubber bands extended? This is, you could kind of argue the same thing, but this is more just like compression up there, not really like naked closes, I suppose. So looking for the breakouts, like had a good trade this on this day, because I simply had a good setup, and traded Covel, bingo bango boom. All right, so the next day, what? Bullshit G Pro, right? Like too far, too fast, buying under prior resistance, opening spike, like all that bullshit. So bad trade. So far this week, 3 good trades, 1 bad trade. Then I go trade UVIXI, right? So yet another, as we said, long-term ETF and a fucking long-term fucking downtrend. There's nothing to suggest that the intermediate trend has changed. So why was I trading this? Fucking, you fucking called it, dude. Like, saw Kunal was like, talking about it on the Bulls Wall Street thing, and like I understand what he's saying, but there's no you gotta, if you're gonna trade this volatility ETF, like I guess you want to confirm that volatility has already come to the market and then wait for a dull moment and then hop back on when it starts to resume, not like guess when it's all going to start, because that's exactly what this trade is. It's like you're guessing when the volatility is going to start coming back into the market. So anywho, poor trade. Also, I think I definitely sized too big in this. So there's a bunch of undisciplined things like not taking correct position sizing. And so I gave back a lot of the week's profits, for Monday on this day. So, Monday I had a very profitable day because I traded good setups, and then Tuesday gave back a lot because I traded some bullshit. And I guess Momo was on that list too. So, Momo also on Tuesday. So traded Momo on Monday, but then I traded Momo on Tuesday, looking for whatever I said, right? Counter trend. There's no counter trend setup on this Tuesday. So, as you said, gotta fucking focus on one type of trading. Gotta be really good at trend trading. Fucking awesome. I made a good trend trade, but then I'm trying to do too much counter trend trading. So Momo does have few days overlapping, so we'll see how that goes on the list. So yeah, that's kind of my Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, I just traded AAY, like short, down on this day. So I mean, like, what's my setup? No, daily setup. So once again, missing, fucking around with this, and missing this, and so and trust me, dude, I am terribly upset about missing this Tesla on this day. I don't know, man. I mean, look, I could come up with some fucking excuse, like I was talking to my mom on the phone, or like what the fuck ever. Point is, I did my work. I identified this fucking level. And I was watching intraday. I had a plan for it. I wanted it to be making lower highs into the level. I fucking knew what I was looking for. I wanted the fucking prior support to become resistance entry. I knew everything I was looking for, and I fucking didn't trade it. I missed it. Like, why the fuck did that happen? Probably because I was fucking around with this bullshit instead of being focused on my best opportunity. So, inexcusable that day. And then we talk about a bunch of, sure, dude, this was a fucking wide range day today. awesome, I made a bunch of money, cool, you know, fucking whatever, you know, like a point and some change or whatever. When there were like 5 points to be made in this, I don't know. Anyway, so you know, my trade management wasn't the best in this trade today, but I guess we'll talk about it. Like, I don't even know why. You know, maybe I shouldn't even be breaking this down because this isn't an A plus setup, and I shouldn't be concerning myself with it. So I'm not gonna. Shouldn't have been trading this in the first place. Gap. That's number one. And fucking A, if this video is kind of all over the place, dude. I'm just kind of at my wit's end right now about like being fucked up and then missing shit like you said, like IGT. Pretty fucking sick right there. Like I saw QCon the other day. Saw that level. I saw it after this day, of course. I didn't see it after you know, I didn't see this level. And then you talk about MDXG, sick, you know. So you know, those are big misses. I mean, huge misses. I mean, MDXG. I've got a scan that gives me this one, so there's no excuse why I should be missing MDXG. Just have to, you know, say what does it look like on this day. You know, it's kind of to keep that in mind. Just like 52-week highs, and you gotta, you know, coming to a huge psychological level. So, you know, yeah, I mean, if I eliminated, you know, even take AOI off today, right? And I eliminated all of my bad trades. So it's AOI yesterday, and I catch Tesla instead, right? So let's just say I traded Momo on Monday and LL on Monday, or ESPR on Monday, right? Either any of three of those, I made money. And then Tuesday, what have you, you know, I don't fuck around with anything. Maybe I don't place a trade. And then Wednesday, I trade Tesla. And today, I don't trade AOI, but I catch like one, you know, even if I miss all of these guys, right? So Tesla Wednesday, Momo Monday, I have a fucking awesome week. But you know, it's just what you said, man. I want to catch every fucking wide range bar that's ever been in existence and ever will be. You know, like the fucking the Karth of wide range bars. Like, you know, that's all I want is, and I want it. You know, I can't. It's literally impossible for me to do that. So why bother? One, and two, it's like, as you said, I'm gonna miss all the best ones because I'm trying to catch all of them. So probably makes more sense just to trade the best ones. So, you know, I have my fucking list with my picture of Admiral Akbar. It's a gap, you know. I mean, I have that on there. I have to just be religious of how I check it. I need to be better at identifying awesome levels like MDXG, like IGT, which is awesome. I fucking love this trade, dude. This is like super A+ in my book. I playbooked it already. And then you're talking about like, I mean, this is right here. Like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, that's super creamy. And this one too. Yeah, so it's just like, I know, dude. I fucking know for a fact if I only took trades like IGT, I'd fucking slay. Like, without a doubt, I could make money every single day if I only took trades like this, but I have to have these on my radar. I have to be watching this. This is like very reminiscent of the Acacia trade that I made my first $1,000 day on. You know, this is one of my fucking favorite setups, and so I need to, as Bella talks about, you need to have, you know, ways to like locate more of your favorite setups. So, so this video is running a little long, but so I've got a scan for 3-month lows. You know, this doesn't show on it. I don't know why. IGT doesn't show on it. One would think it would, since it's at fucking 3-month lows. So, you know, price is percent of the 90-day low. Volumes above, you know, 500,000. So I don't know. I mean, this is one of those stocks that's like right in my wheelhouse for my share size and my account size. So I mean, this is one of those that, like, I cannot miss. So I've got to figure out how to get this shit on here because it's super frustrating. Like, bro, I do fucking scans every day. I've got like 4 FitInViz scans that I run. I've got like my bottom 90%, 3-month lows, top 90%, and a volume scan that I do on here. Then I fucking crunch through all of my focus watch lists. I look through like the top 50 of volume buzz from the previous day on this list. I like crunch probably top like 30 on high beta for the volume buzz. Like I do my homework every day, man, and like, but I'm, it's not about doing stuff. It's about doing stuff efficiently. So having a better process, having better scans, is gonna help me find better trades. But yeah, I gotta be like the turtle, dude. I gotta just follow the fucking process, no matter how much it pains me to know that AOI gaps up and fucking has a wide range day. Doesn't fucking matter because it's not what I'm doing. It's got profitable trading will come when I judge myself on how well I followed my process rather than how much money I made in a day. So I'll end on that. Sorry this shit ran a little long. I know you're busy as hell, dude. Like, trust me, my dad, my sister are both nurses, bro, and those long fucking 12, 14-hour days. My best friend in Florida, he's a nurse too, or he's a radiologist. So I mean, just like working those long fucking days, man. Like, I can't even imagine how you guys do it. 1 and 2, like finding the time to like watch all my videos and still do your charts. It's fucking cool. But yeah, you're gonna throw a nigga a bone on some scans. Like, I ain't gonna say no. Yeah. Oh, and to land the point, last thing you said, like, I'm gonna stop watching all the other videos like Spencer, Kuna, all that shit. Just, I'm doing my own work. I'm gonna find my own setups. Unless you want to toss me a scan, you know what I'm saying? All right, man. Later.